Hi there, Lisa. Thanks for opting into the video critique. Last time, huh? All right, let's go ahead and take a look at your campaign. Pass me a cold one. Okay, so here is the original ad. I'm guessing this is your ad. That's going to be my guess. Let's see, ad campaign promoting cool refreshment within your reach. All right, awesome. Pepsi's Pass Me a Cold One campaign. Interesting color choice here. It is reading kind of pink to me, and I'm wondering why you didn't go with the more red. So that's one of my first thoughts. Is it the same as this color? This color looks slightly, no, looks the same. I wonder if it would look a little bit better, a little bit more red. Okay, there's some food for thought. Ooh, although I like the pink tone to it on this page. Okay, nice type here. Really like this type. Like the lines, like the full bleed. Looks good. This, I think, is too high within your box, okay? Make sure it is centered perfectly horizontally. So there's probably a horizontal line right here that will cut these two in half, and then you want the middle of your letters to hit that. The best choice is to probably take this D and cut the D in half and then put that right on the line. Now, your G is going to drop down a little bit lower than the halfway line. So it might look like the edge of the G is closer to the bottom than the top of the D, but that's fine. You kind of want to center your capital letters within this line, okay? Original ad. This is the original ad. This doesn't look like a professional ad to me. See the arm? See how it's kind of bumpy? It doesn't pass me a cold one. Let's look. Pass me a cold one Pepsi campaign. Something weird going on. This does not look like a professional ad to me, Lisa. See this? This looks more like a professional ad. Because this arm, if I was Pepsi, I would throw a fit if this was my original ad. See that kind of bad selection on the arm? So let's look at this. Let's investigate what is happening here. I don't see another one. I was wondering if we could find it a few different places. Okay, so where did you find this ad? I'm not gonna tell you need to redo your ad based on this, but this is a good thing to pay attention to. Try to look real closely because I was guessing this was your spin-off ad and you needed to go in and work on your selection a little bit more. But this is the professional ad, so I'm not sure where you found it. Will you email me the link where you found this? Or if you just found it on a Google image search, if you did exactly what I did, that's not going to be a deal breaker for your assignment. I'm not going to say you have to redesign the whole ad this week, but it is better if you can find the actual source for these images as opposed to just a Google search because I'm clicking on this, but I'm not finding it. If I clicked on this and it was like, here are some Pepsi ads I designed for my intro to graphic design class at such and such university, you would know, oh, that's probably not a good idea to use that one because it's not at the professional level. Okay. So like I said, I'm not going to say you have to redesign it, but it's not the best choice because see how this looks a little bit more professional? There are just something, the crispness of the edges, and this isn't fully rendering, so let's click on a different one. Okay, so see this one. This looks like a professional ad. Everything is super crisp, kind of interesting, some cool gradients. This has a cool gradient background, so I could see you thinking, not assuming, and the Pepsi bottle itself is really crisp. The writing down here is crisp. Okay, this even looks a little bit better than on your PowerPoint presentation because the edges here are clean. Your edges on this look a little bit fuzzy for some reason to me. Okay, something to think about. And we're going to go ahead and move on. But that's a little bit weird. Okay, so let's talk about your design. So maybe the pink, it might look a little bit better with like a dark red or even a light red, unless it's too visually assertive. Then if this was a choice you made after trying out some reds that match this better, then that's fine. Okay, watch the edges of your drawovers here. I can see where this line is a slight gap from that line. Try to get them to really be cohesive so it matches perfectly. Like you've done a good job with the angles down here. Okay, make this the same when it comes to the angles. Okay, cold refreshing solution. Good. Okay, typography is monospace. Adding use of product logo for contrast. Yeah, that's interesting, huh? Okay, consistencies, new ad, good. I really love, this font is okay, but I love this one so much, it almost makes me want this one to be a little bit more interesting too. But you have the contrast, which is really good. Oh, and here's yours. Pass me a cold one. Cool. Okay, I like that. It's clever. Okay, watch this. Your letters are too close to the edge. You always need the room to breathe. See the amount of room you have to breathe between these letters and these ones? It might have been because you did a text box and then added color to the background. Instead, I like to work with two totally different layers, one that is a text layer with a transparent background and one that is a shape. You can go in and edit the amount of space after you've created this with some of your settings, but I like to have two just so I can really navigate and control the amount of space between the edge myself. Okay. I do think you need to clean up yours as well. See the white around him? See the white on the top of his helmet, along here, and on his shoulder, his arm. This looks better down here. You've done a nice job along his legs. We just got to clean up his shoulder, his head, and his hands and his arms a little bit more. Try to smooth this out as well. See how it's looking a little bit pixelated. Now this was the same problem I had on that original ad. It's almost like there's a little bit of a jump, like a line, like a stair step. Like if you zoom in real close, you're going to see a stair step right there, which is the same on his arm. This kind of not smooth stair step like effect. Okay. The other thing maybe that clued me in is this saturation is it's kind of like it's been muted in contrast to the Pepsi can. This looks really muted and this looks very vibrant. So these were probably from two different images originally and they didn't color edit and color adjust the arm, but the Pepsi can looked good before. Okay. I like your background with having the gradient of the color. That looks really good. And let's see, your Pepsi can. We're getting some glow on the right and left of the Pepsi can too. Perhaps, zoom in. And this is not the best quality, to be honest. Like, see how his face is just kind of pixelated as well. I think I'm okay with this because it might be like it wouldn't look like this in real life. It wouldn't be glowing from the back. But you probably selected this from maybe another image that was a Pepsi can against, like in a studio. So they had some lighting on it, which was like that. So if you can, maybe you could play around with this in Photoshop, try to get it to look a little bit more like this one. See how it's all crisp on blue on the edges? And then this has a little bit of light from that direction. But yours has light on both sides. So maybe you could adjust the contrast or the saturation, help it feel a little bit more intense, and possibly even just scoot that selection in a little bit more as well. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, got to fix the placement of the words on this one as well. And then I would probably add it, since you have arrows here and everything else, I would maybe just add an arrow pointing to the sky. Keep it consistent. Okay, and an arrow pointing to this tagline. And then a nice strong closing slide. This looks weird too. See how it looks kind of fuzzy? And I'm assuming this looks, maybe let me know if your original files look fuzzy like this too, or if maybe there's something going on your saving settings, because just everything except for your type looks clean and crisp, but all your images are coming through looking just a little bit off to me for some reason. Okay, so maybe we have something going on that's not the actual images themselves. Maybe it's when we're saving to PDF or something. I'd like to see your files if you don't mind. Then we can maybe resolve it now and know exactly what's going on. But okay, so a few things to work on, Lisa. You are doing a good job with having your ad mimic that original, and you're heading in the right direction. I really like these transition slides. There's a lot of white space. These are looking good. You could perhaps make the font size a little bit smaller here. You have them left aligned. They might look good right aligned. You could play around with that, see if that looks nice. Just watch the amount of space between the edges of the page too. Might make this a little bit further to the right. And then maybe this, yeah, I think this would look cool, right aligned, kind of tucked in this pocket. Wouldn't that be nice? Picture this content just right here, kind of in the corner. Okay, so there are some suggestions. Hopefully I haven't worried you too much about your images, but we do need to continue to work on those. They're feeling kind of, both of them are feeling a little bit faded and fuzzy, which is not the effect we want. The fact this feels faded and fuzzy too is a little bit odd. So we'll figure out what's going on. Okay. Let me know. Maybe just shoot me an email and we can kind of troubleshoot it together. All right. Thanks, Lisa.